Millions of men are living in a state of paralysis. They have goals, they have ambitions, but they are very scared to take action. They see social media, they see all these people doing well, and they feel like they're behind, but they feel scared because of the huge pressure that modern day men face to take action and try something new. They feel like if they fail, that they're going to be judged, criticized, their friends and family will laugh at them, and they feel stuck. And subsequently, they have plans and ambitions, and they get ready to take action, and they prepare to take action and try something new. But when that moment arises to pull the trigger and just start making a change, just start doing something different, they crumble, they fold, and they decide that it's not the right thing to do. That the right thing to do is to wait. And wait, and wait. And a lot of men will fall into this habit of waiting to take action, of waiting to change. And sometimes, very sadly, this can go on for a lifetime. Now, those men, if they had the opportunity to talk to you today, the old men with a long list of regrets would beg you to take action. They would beg you to go and chase your goals and go and do something weird and wacky and potentially crazy. Because they didn't. Because they suppressed their dreams. They allowed their fear of failure to conquer them. They allowed what other people thought of them to completely drive the direction that their life is going in. Now, I understand the pressures of the modern day of social media. There are a lot of eyeballs potentially watching you. There's a lot of people who may be following your steps. But ultimately, if you don't know these people, and these people don't mean anything to you, they're not your friends, they're not your family, who cares? Who cares? Ultimately, the only person who will care if you don't take action is you. Down the line, future you. He's going to be sat there thinking, why didn't I try? Why did I care so much about what somebody I went to school with when I was 12 thought about what I was doing? Why did I care so much about what random people on the internet might have said about the potential business that I was going to launch, or about the social media channel that I was going to launch to talk about my passions or to talk about my interests? Why did I care? Now, the good thing for you, if you've caught this video, is that you actually have an advantage that those people who didn't take action didn't have. You have time. You know the formula for failure. You know the formula for a dissatisfied life. And that formula is not taking action. That formula is doing what you're doing right now. Procrastinating, having great ideas but never really pulling the trigger. Having perfect plans but never really implementing them through this fear. Now look, you might try and execute one of your plans and you might F it up. It might go really, really badly. But you're never going to know if you don't try. You're never going to experience the feeling of taking action if you constantly push things back and you constantly ditch your ideas. You're waiting for perfection. You're waiting for the perfect moment to arise. There is no perfect moment. There isn't. It doesn't exist. You speak to some of the most successful people today, people that have built businesses, people that have built huge corporations, and they'll tell you, when we started, we didn't really know what we were doing. It was a big risk. The market was a mess. People were telling us that our plan was stupid. People told us that our startup would fail. But we just went for it. And we started. And we are so happy we did, because we had all the success in the world. Now, it's not guaranteed that you're going to have the same results, but it is guaranteed that if you do nothing, you'll get the same results. If nothing changes, nothing changes. At some point or another, you have to decide, I don't care what people think. I don't care what people may or may not say. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to take action. I'm going to take control of my life. If someone wants to laugh at you or criticize you for doing something that you like, for doing something that makes you feel good, for doing something that you believe in, for doing something that provides value, then they're a loser. They're a loser anyway. And their hateful comments and their negative energy towards you is just a projection from within them of anger at themselves for not being able to take action the way that you have. That's often what people that hate on others are projecting. Their own anger, their own frustration, their own fears and insecurities. You cannot allow these people to dictate which direction your life is going to go in. It's a big mistake. And yes, when you try something different, when you try something new and you go against what the herd is doing, there are going to be some people that maybe give you a funny look, maybe some people that try and convince you it's not the best idea, maybe some people that try and sabotage your plans. But ultimately, if you take action anyway, when you start having your success, you will turn those haters into followers. You will turn those disbelievers into believers. Not quite to the level of Christ, but in some way or another, the people that didn't believe in you and the people that hated on you will be forced to respect your results. They'll be forced to respect the changes that you have made. You will quite literally, through action, turn haters into followers. People that were rooting for you to fail. They will be forced to respect you through your work, but that only comes when you take action. That only comes when you pull the trigger. And as I said, if you don't pull the trigger, you got to accept that your life is going to stay the way it is. If you're okay with that, fine. But if you're not, then action is the only answer. It always has been. But look, you can click off this video, you can go and find another one. Somebody saying what I'm saying in a slightly different way, pump you up some more, get some more dopamine. Or you can decide, you know what, I've had enough dopamine. You know what, I've had enough guys online telling me the same thing in a slightly different way. I need to change. I need to take action. I need to pull my finger out my ass and get going. Because the truth is, no matter how many times you listen to the message, it's still not going to change your life. The amount of videos you consume providing information isn't going to do anything unless you act on it. Isn't going to do anything unless you actually pull the trigger and start implementing some of your great ideas and your plans that nobody knows about because they're just sat there. They're just sat on your desk collecting dust. Or no more. If you want a nice life, if you want to pursue a life of meaning and purpose, and you want to do something and change the world in a small way, you got to start pulling the trigger. You got to start just going. Failure is going to happen. At points, you're going to mess up. You're going to make mistakes. You are going to have a plan that you thought was perfect, and it's not going to go the way you expected it to go. But with every single time that you do start taking action, the fear becomes less. You don't think as much. Train yourself to start taking action even when you're scared, and every single time that you do it again and again and again, it's going to come that little bit easier. You're not going to feel the same pressure every single time. And this is going to build up an excellent capacity for output, an excellent capacity for just taking action. As I said, there's so many guys who have built tremendous success from just pulling the trigger. Now, it wasn't their first attempt that things went well for them. They had a lot of failures, but with each failure, the fear of failure got less and less. So as I say, if you want a different life, you have to do different things. To get different results, you have to do different things. Albert Einstein coined the expression that the definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. My friend, the life you want is not just going to present itself to you on a plate. You're going to have to do some deep work. You're going to have to risk embarrassing yourself. But if you are prepared to do those things, there is no reason why you cannot have that life. But there is a price to pay. But if you're ready to change, and if you're ready for your fortune to turn itself around, then the moment to take action is now. No more waiting, no more procrastinating, no more getting ready, no more planning and preparing. Just go. The worst that can happen is you stay exactly where you are. Anyway, guys, look, that's all I've got for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to smash the like button, comment your thoughts down below, as always, and if you are new around here, do consider subscribing to the channel for much more content from me. It makes a big difference. The more subscribers I have, the more people I can reach. And look, if you're already subscribed, be sure to share the channel with a friend. If you take value and you've got a couple of friends that are similarly like-minded to you, maybe they're going to take some value as well. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you for your time and your attention, and I will see you in the next one.